Hey everybody, this is Steve from Average Joe's Fantasy Football, and we've got your Week 3 starting lineup for the quarterback position. Hopefully you guys got a victory this past weekend. Unfortunately, I lost in a couple of my leagues. Derrick Henry just crushed me, and Dak Prescott unfortunately did not do very well, but that's okay. Sometimes you take those losses and you learn from it. You kind of see what your team is all about, and then possibly what maybe some waivers you might need to pick up. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Also that notification bell, that way you guys are notified every time we drop a video just like this, okay? Again, this is gonna be for the quarterback position. We are on to week 3. We do have a Thursday night game, which will be the Panthers against the Texans. Not a great game. Thursday nights tend to be those kind of games, but that's gonna be a game for some of you guys that might maybe have a Sam Darnold in there. Hopefully you guys are up to date. Tyrod Taylor is on a short-term IR, so he's not playing obviously, but we do got some good running backs going in that one, and that'll be on our next video. So we're going to jump kind of right into this. These are going to be your obvious picks, guys. Don't overthink it. These are your guys that you should be starting every single week. And yes, I do have Dak Prescott in there, even though he did lay a dud, unfortunately, in fantasy. But he's not somebody I would sit every single week. It's very rare that he has a matchup like that where he just doesn't do very well. All right, so make sure you feel confident. These are your guys you should be automatically starting. Now, his first start position I've got is Jalen Hurts. And I hate to say Jalen Hurts because obviously as a Cowboys fan, I do not want him to do well. But Jalen Hurts is going against Dallas, who is the 31st against the pass. Unfortunately, not doing a great job. Now, as far as the rankings go in fantasy, they've allowed about 22.9 points on average to the quarterback, which is 23rd ranking in the season so far. Hurts does have a dynamic where he can obviously run as well, which is not accounted for in those fantasy points. So it does make things a little bit more challenging, but Hurts actually does have a good matchup against Dallas. Dallas's defense has struggled again, just like they did last year, and I think Jalen Hurts is going to be something that is really going to take advantage of that. Now, that could be more of a shootout game, which should be very interesting, which is why I think Dak will be a great pick, great start, but Jalen Hurts is definitely a great start. Now, next guy I have is a good start, and I know this sounds crazy because, and I'll explain why. Kirk Cousins against the Seahawks, I think, is a great start. Kirk Cousins has been amazing the first 2 games. He is throwing the ball all over the place. KJ Osborne looks great. Thielen looked great. Jefferson looked great. Cook is playing well. That offense looks amazing right now, and I like Kirk Cousins. Seahawks actually are 21st against the pass, so they're not a great pass team, but against the quarterback as far as fantasy goes, they've only allowed 16.4 points on average to the quarterback, which is 12th right now. That's actually really good. Yeah, they might be giving up the pass, but they're not giving up a lot of touchdowns, which is what makes the difference between fantasy and reality. They're not allowing a lot, but I do think Kirk Cousins actually will have a good game, and I know a lot of people are kind of hesitant, but if you do have him and you're unsure of what you should do with him, I would start him. Feel pretty confident about that, okay? It is going to be a shootout. Now, the last guy I have as far as a good start option is going to be Derek Carr. Derek Carr is going against the Dolphins. Dolphins actually have a really good pass defense, and I think part of it is teams are already up. They're winning. They don't need to pass the ball. And the fact that Tua is out, or could be out, obviously we're kind of seeing what's going to happen with that. That might change this game a little bit even more. I think that might actually end up being a good running game. But with that said, Derek Carr is one of the top quarterbacks right now in fantasy this past 2 games. He looks really good. He's passing the ball very confidently. He's throwing the ball around, whether it be Waller, maybe one week it's Ruggs, Edwards. He just looks good overall, even with that backfield obviously having some issues right now with Jacobs being out. Dolphins are 12th against the pass overall. They are averaging 16.4 points again, just like the Seahawks, which puts them about 10th or tied for 12th ranking. So does not look good as far as fantasy goes, but as far as what Derek Carr's been playing, I think he's almost a must start almost every week, okay? I have him as a start this week. Now, as far as your sits go, this week I have Taylor Heinecke. I had him a good start or sleeper last week, and I felt he did pretty good last week, even against the Giants. He's going against the Bills, and right now the Bills are the number 1 defensive team overall, period. Bills giving up the 4th against the passing yards. They are allowing 9.6 points to the quarterback right now in fantasy, which puts them number 1. They are not allowing quarterbacks to succeed, and now with Gibson obviously being unsure, then you've got McKissick who's doing well. That's really about it. McLaurin, I think, still might be somebody I would feel confident with, and we'll talk about that in the next wide receiver start video, but I do like Heinecke as far as a good sit. Do not play him this week. Now, the next guy I have is Jimmy Garoppolo. If you are starting Jimmy G, you're probably in trouble. You probably should be going after those waiver wire quarterbacks like a Derek Carr, maybe even a Teddy Bridgewater. But as far as Jimmy G goes, they're going against the Packers, who are first against the pass overall as far as the rankings go, but they are allowing a lot of fantasy points. They're not allowing a lot of passing yards, as you saw, a la Jameis Winston, but he had 5 touchdowns. So they are allowing touchdowns to happen. They are allowing 24.6 points to the quarterback, and which puts them at 26th ranking. Reason why I have them is I think that first game kind of over-evaluated these points. They did well against Jared Goff. Jared Goff at the beginning of the first, quarter, 2 almost, he looked really good, and then they shut him down. So I think that really indicates what the Packers defense really can be. Now, the last guy I have as far as a sit, it's going to be Jameis Winston. He laid a dud. Fortunately, a lot of people went after him. I think that first game kind of put everybody in the delusion like, wow, Jameis Winston looks really good. But Jameis Winston is Jameis Winston. He's going to have those bad games. He is going against New England. It's going to be a fun game to watch because obviously he played for New England last year, and I think this year it's going to be kind of fun to watch. But with that said, Jameis Winston's not a good start. Patriots are 8th against the pass. They are not allowing a lot, and they're only allowing 4th against quarterbacks in fantasy. They're allowing 11.9 points to the quarterback. So Jameis Winston is an absolutely sitting, maybe even a drop at this point. And so maybe, we get Michael Thomas back, but I don't like Jameis Winston at all. Now, as far as some good sleepers go, I actually have Daniel Jones as a good sleeper. He's going against the Falcons, who are allowing 29 points to the quarterback position, which is 32nd in the league. That's a gimme right there. So Daniel Jones is a great start. Him and Sterling Shepard looks really good, and I think this actually be a good game for Galladay. Like I said, we'll talk about that in the wide receiver. Joe Burrow, I have him as a good sleeper against the Steelers. Steelers are allowing 20.7 points allowed to the quarterback, which is putting them about middle grade, 17th ranked. And then I have Teddy Bridgewater. Just so you guys are aware, and this is kind of with those weird stats, Teddy Bridgewater, I think, is a good start as far as a sleeper goes. He is going against the Jets. The Jets have only allowed 13.2 points to the quarterback, which is 5th ranked in the NFL. With that said, it's because the Jets are behind, okay, and the teams are up so much, they don't need to throw the ball. So at that point, Bridgewater may be in that same situation, but I think at the beginning of the game, he's going to score a couple touchdowns, which helps put him in as a good sleeper option. But as far as overall, the Jets actually look pretty good against the quarterback. So those are your start and sits. Those are your sleepers. Those are some good options for you guys in week 3 as far as the quarterback goes. If you guys have questions, not really sure who you should start, maybe you should pick up, hit us down in the comments down below. Obviously, you can hit us up on our socials, Instagram, Twitter. You can hit us up in the DMs, ask away whatever questions be, whether it be trades, waiver wires, who you need to start or sit. We're there to help you guys obviously succeed this season. Hopefully you guys are 2-0, going into another 3-0 weekend. If you guys haven't yet, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Also hit the notification bell. Again, give us that love. Hit the like buttons. Hit us up on our socials again. And we'll check you guys next time.